Hi there. I'm going to show you how to leave a rating and review for a podcast in iTunes on your Mac. When you leave a rating and review, it helps others find out if the podcast is useful for them, and it also helps the podcast go higher in rankings. So if you like a podcast, you want more people to be able to find it, you'll want to review it and rate it for others to be able to find it as well. So when you open up iTunes, it brings you to the iTunes store, and you can come up to the search feature and search for the podcast that you're looking for. Hit enter. And then these are the search results. The podcast you're looking for will come up in number one. Just tap on that, and it takes you to the page for this podcast. There are 3 tabs here: details, ratings and review, and related. So in the details tab has a description of the podcast. All the episodes are listed here. And down at the bottom, if you like this podcast, they think you might like these other podcasts, because people who subscribe to this podcast have also subscribed to these other podcasts here. So I'm going to come back to ratings and reviews, but on the related tab, you'll see more. This is kind of like, if you like MicroBrewr podcast or whichever podcast you're looking for, you come to this related tab and they show you basically the thing we're just looking at the bottom of the details tab. But it also has this section. This podcast is in the food category. So this shows you the top podcasts in the food category. Now, if you want to rate and review a podcast, come here to the ratings and reviews tab. This has all the reviews that people have left. You can sort them by the most helpful. It's if people can say, was this review helpful, yes or no? So the most helpful ones show up here. Most favorable, I think, is the people who give the most stars. Those reviews will show up here. Or most critical, the least amount of stars will show up here. Or the most recent. That'll sort all of these reviews with the most recent on top and the oldest down at the bottom. So the shortest thing you could do, if you want to just rate a show really quick, give it the number of stars, you could just tap one of these. If you want to rate and also review the podcast, click write a review. Now, I've already written a review, so this is what I wrote previously. You can tap on the number of stars that you want to give it here. They want you to type a short title and a little bit longer description saying what you like or didn't like about the podcast, and just click submit. That's all there is to it. That's how you rate and review a podcast in iTunes on your Mac. Cheers.